Sunlight bathes a vibrant meadow, alive with swaying wildflowers and the endless hum of summer. Tiny ants weave through the tall grasses, their tireless work a stark contrast to the meadow's calm. Beneath a broad leaf, a grasshopper strums a lively tune, his music filling the air with carefree joy. The sun casts long shadows, painting the meadow in hues of gold and emerald. Wildflowers dance in the gentle breeze, an endless ballet of color and light. The grasshopper's joyful melody echoes through the meadow, a sweet song of summer's abundance. A bustling anthill entrance teems with activity as ants carry burdens many times their size, their tiny legs a blur of motion. Each ant, a miniature titan, shoulders its load, driven by instinct and the needs of the colony. The entrance serves as a gateway to a hidden world, a labyrinthine city beneath the sun-drenched surface. The air vibrates with the subtle symphony of the insect world, a chorus of chirps and rustling leaves. Drifting through the air, the carefree melody of the grasshopper's music hints at a different existence. The contrast between the ant's diligence and the grasshopper's whimsy underscores the delicate balance of nature. Sunlight bathes a vibrant meadow as a grasshopper, carefree, plays his violin, lost in the lively tune. An ant approaches, struggling under the weight of a massive seed, a stark contrast to the grasshopper's revelry. The ant pauses, its tiny body trembling, looking at the grasshopper with concern and a hint of exasperation. "Why do you waste your days playing when you should be gathering food?" the ant asks, its voice strained. The grasshopper pauses, his music fading, as he looks at the burdened ant, the meadow's tranquility now broken. Beneath the sun, a vast meadow unfolds, wildflowers dancing in the breeze. The grasshopper smiles, seated amongst the vibrant blossoms. He plucks a cheerful tune from his instrument, filling the air with joy. But the sun is shining and the flowers are blooming. Why worry about tomorrow when today is so beautiful? Under the sun, an ant diligently carries a crumb, a stark contrast to the carefree grasshopper nearby. The ant strains, its tiny legs working tirelessly as it approaches the entrance of the anthill. With a determined push, the ant disappears into the dark opening, its precious cargo secured. The ant emerges, glancing back at the grasshopper with a look of concern etched in its multifaceted eyes. A silent disapproval passes between them, a stark reminder of differing paths and looming consequences. Under the vast sky, a lush meadow basks in the golden embrace of day, vibrant greens and yellows painting a lively scene. Time passes, a gentle shift as summer's hues begin their transformation, signaling the subtle arrival of autumn. Leaves on the trees transition into a breathtaking spectacle of reds, oranges, and golds, nature's canvas ablaze with color. The landscape transforms, a symphony of color as the meadow prepares for the quiet slumber of winter. Tiny ants work tirelessly, their movements a flurry of activity as they gather food. They build their nests with unwavering dedication, preparing for the coming winter. The meadow, once ablaze with autumn hues, surrenders to the season's change as the first snowflake descends. Vibrant colors fade into a serene blanket of white, the landscape transformed in silent majesty. The cheerful chirping of the grasshopper is now absent, replaced by a profound, wintry stillness. A pristine, untouched expanse stretches out, the silence amplifying the landscape's stark beauty. In a snowy meadow, the grasshopper shivers, his frail body trembling in the biting cold. His violin lies abandoned in the snow, a silent witness to his despair. Painfully thin, he searches for any morsel of food, his eyes darting desperately. The cold intensifies, mirroring the growing desperation in the grasshopper's eyes. Each gust of wind seems to whisper a warning as he battles the relentless winter. Snow blankets the world, transforming the familiar landscape into a serene, white expanse. The anthill, now a snowy mound, stands as a testament to the ants' industrious spirit. Deep within their cozy, earthen fortress, the ants revel in the warmth and safety they have created. Stockpiled provisions ensure their survival, a reward for their tireless efforts. A community thrives, united in their shared shelter, weathering the harsh winter together in comfort. Near the anthill, the grasshopper's antennae droop with exhaustion, his every movement speaking of weakness and desperation. With frail legs visibly trembling, he timidly approaches the entrance, a picture of utter vulnerability. He knocks gently, a plea for help barely audible in the vastness of the day. Each tap is a fragile echo of his fading hope. Inside the anthill, a sense of warmth and security blankets the colony, their bodies bustling around a mountain of food. The air is filled with the soft rustle of tiny legs and the gentle hum of communal life, a symphony of industry and contentment. Suddenly, A series of sharp knocks echoes through the tunnels, disrupting the peaceful rhythm. The ants freeze, antennae twitching, as a wave of unease ripples through the colony. All eyes turn to the entrance. An ant cautiously approaches the dark maw of the anthill. He hesitates, antennae twitching, before nudging the entrance ajar. A sliver of light reveals the depths within the anthill. He sees the shivering grasshopper. The ant's expression softens with a mix of pity and resolve. Under the scorching sun, a lone, frail grasshopper faces a colossal ant hill, his antennae drooping in despair. His body trembling with hunger, he clasps his hands together, a desperate plea forming on his lips. The towering ant hill looms before him, a symbol of plenty against his stark starvation. His voice, thin and reedy, carries on the wind. "Please, I'm starving. Can you spare some food?" His pleading eyes search for any sign of compassion from the bustling ant colony. The ants continue their tireless work, seemingly oblivious to the grasshopper's desperate plight. Deep within the anthill, an ant pauses, a moment of silent contemplation before the bustling colony. A backward glance reveals the intricate network of tunnels, teeming with life and purpose. The colony stirs, a symphony of soft murmurs and the delicate dance of antennae. Each twitching antenna conveys a silent message, a shared understanding within the close-knit community. The air vibrates with the collective energy of the ants, a hive mind at work. Inside the bustling anthill, the ant stands firm, his antennae twitching, a stark contrast to the looming shadow of the grasshopper. The air crackles with tension as the ant confronts the grasshopper, his gaze unwavering in the face of the other's carefree demeanor. The ant's voice pierces the silence, a sharp question aimed at the grasshopper. "What did you do all summer while we were working?" The grasshopper pauses, the weight of the ant's question hanging heavy in the humid air of the anthill. Before the towering anthill, Grasshopper hangs his head, his antennae drooping low. His form is a stark contrast to the ant's bustling activity. "I played my violin," he laments, his voice barely a whisper in the wind. His words hang in the air, filled with regret. "I enjoyed the sunshine," Grasshopper says, a fleeting memory of warmth. Inside the bustling anthill, an ant sighs, his face etched with weariness as he observes the endless activity. He pauses, the weight of responsibility heavy on his small shoulders. A glimmer of annoyance sparks in his eyes as he remembers the carefree grasshopper. He recalls the grasshopper's flippant words and carefree demeanor with a hint of scorn. With a sigh, the ant remembers his own words. "You played? Then you can dance the winter away." The weight of the coming winter settles heavily on him. Deep within the anthill, the colony bustles with tireless activity. An older ant, weathered and wise, steps forward, a stark contrast to the youthful energy around him. His presence commands attention. A hush falls over the crowd as he raises a foreleg, his voice trembling with urgency. "Wait!" the older ant cries out, his plea echoing through the tunnels. Sunlight pierces the anthill, lighting the bustling colony. An older ant stands before the colony, his antennae twitching. His wise gaze sweeps over the assembled ants, a question of compassion in the air. "We have enough to share," the older ant declares, his voice resonating in the chamber. He challenges them. Should we turn away a creature in need? Within the bustling anthill, antennae twitch as ants engage in a heated debate, their tiny bodies vibrating with urgency. "He feasted all summer while we toiled. The grasshopper deserves his fate," one ant declares, its voice sharp with resentment. Another ant counters, "But surely we can spare a few grains. Compassion is the mark of a civilized colony." "Sharing our surplus will cost us nothing and may save a life," another pleads, hoping to sway the colony's decision. Inside the bustling anthill, an ant pauses, its antennae twitching amidst the frenzied activity. Conflict flickers in its multifaceted eyes, a silent battle waged within. A memory stirs, the carefree laughter of the grasshopper, a stark contrast to the ant's world. The weight of responsibility presses down, a heavy burden in the crowded tunnels. A choice looms, the echoes of laughter challenging the path of duty. Inside the humid anthill, dust motes swirl, revealing a complex network of tunnels. Older ant stands atop a small mound, addressing the worker ants. His antennae twitch, emphasizing the weight of his words. "We will share some food," older ant declares, his voice resonating. "But the grasshopper must help us and learn to prepare for the future," he adds, a stern note in his tone. Inside the bustling anthill, a palpable sense of agreement fills the air, as tiny bodies move with purpose. An ant, its antennae twitching, approaches the entrance, a silent invitation in its posture. With powerful mandibles, the ant widens the entrance, creating a more welcoming space. The newly expanded entrance gleams, promising shelter and sustenance to those who enter. "Welcome inside," the ant proclaims, its voice a faint whisper in the vast, echoing tunnels. Inside the anthill, the grasshopper's multifaceted eyes glisten with unshed tears, reflecting a profound shift within. He accepts the offer, his head inclining in solemn understanding. Relief washes over his features, a stark contrast to his earlier carefree demeanor. "I vow to learn from my mistakes," the grasshopper declares, his voice resonating with newfound resolve. A promise hangs in the air, sealing his transformation within the heart of the ant colony. Deep inside the bustling anthill, the grasshopper, now healthier, diligently sorts seeds, his movements precise and purposeful. He pauses, his gaze lifting towards the light, a subtle shift in his demeanor hinting at newfound understanding. A genuine smile blossoms across his face, reflecting the profound shift in his perspective. The soft, lilting sound of a violin drifts through the anthill, a melodic embrace of labor and joy. The music fills the scene, a gentle promise of harmony between work and play, community and individual expression.